A major announcement is happening right now in Pflugerville.
The city has landed a deal for a new water park that soon would be a new option for your family entertainment.
It will also mean hundreds of new jobs starting next spring.
KXAN's Ignacio Garcia shows us why the park at the intersection of SH 45 and SH 130 toll roads is another key piece of Pflugerville's plan to go from sleepy suburb to a boomtown.
The water park will break ground next month. It'll be located on 25 acres right across the street from the Stonehill Town Center. The city's economic development director says the Hawaiian Falls Water and Adventure Park will bring about 300 summer jobs and dozens others year-round. Over $6 million in sales expected the first year, all part of a 30-year land lease with renewal options at the back end.
The city will be making money as part of the deal. The city will own the property. The water park will develop the park and run the park and pay the city for that privilege.
Developers say they researched the Austin area for 10 years before deciding on Pflugerville. They say the area demographics and prime location at the 45-130 Tollway Exchange was their deciding factor in choosing Pflugerville over other communities.
Within 25 minutes of the site, there's almost 1.5 million people, and they can get there quickly, they can get home quickly. That's really important.
The water park is the latest victory for the city's aggressive effort to bring businesses inside their city limits. Their next goal?
So we think that this water park will be the straw that broke the camel's back and get us our first hotel, and we think it'll actually get us multiple hotels.
The developer says they're expecting to use mostly recycled water all year long, and that the park is expected to use up less water than the average golf course. In Pflugerville, Ignacio Garcia, KXAN News.
And the city of Pflugerville says the economic impact from this water park on year one is expected in the $30 million range.
Last year, the Texas Department of Public Safety opened a 24,000 square foot driver's license mega center in Pflugerville. It houses 36 employees, and it's spurring some small business all around it. A few weeks ago, MTech also announced they were moving their 200+ employees from North Austin into the Pflugerville city limits. MTech expected to be the city's largest employer by the end of the year.
And to give you some more perspective, from 1990 to 2012, more than 47,000 people moved to Pflugerville. That growth put Pflugerville at number 8 among the fastest growing cities in the country. City officials predict the population of Pflugerville will be 52,550 in 2015 and 61,000 people in 2030.
Meantime, the opening of a proposed water park in Cedar Park is delayed indefinitely now. Schlitterbahn announced they were planning to open there in 2010, and KXAN learned about a year and a half later the project was on hold. When the park originally released their renderings, they said it would open by May 2013. We spoke to the city of Cedar Park again today, and they say conversations are still happening with Schlitterbahn, but there is still no final deal.
This hole in the ground will be the wave pool. Mayor Jeff Coleman is proud that the LA Times has already named Hawaiian Falls one of the top 14 water parks in the country.
And that's before we've had one single person go down one single slide. I can't wait to see what people are going to say after we're actually out swimming and having a good time.
The 25-acre water park is unique because people will actually be able to soar over the pools on a 700-foot zip line. Because this attraction is open year-round, the pools will never be drained.
Water conservation in Central Texas is very important, especially during this drought. You'll be happy to know that these slides will actually be pumped with recycled water.
The park has already hired about 300 workers and is looking to hire another 100, something Floyd Akers feels is needed.
You know, we don't have that many job opportunities for the high school age kids, and to have 300 seasonal jobs like this to help fill that gap is really exceptional for us.
For some, the summer job could become more, like it did for Hawaiian Falls General Manager Evan Barnett, who first began working with the company when he was 16.
Yeah, it's kind of weird how it worked out, but they came to our school and said, hey, we need people to work just like we did here. And I started as a summer job and got myself through 2 degrees.
Barnett says about 85% of the workers return to work from year to year. Taylor Hampton, Texas News Watch.
Pflugerville will break ground on a new water and adventure park in just 30 days. It will span 25 acres on the southwest corner of Toll Road 130 and FM 685. That's right across from the Home Depot Shopping Center. KITV's Lydia Pentasas explains the economic impact the new attraction is expected to have.
Massive slides, a lazy river, and so much more.
A wave pool about the size of a football field that'll have 9 different waves in it.
We'll have 2 slide complexes that will both be near 70 feet high.
The $21.5 million Hawaiian Falls Water Park is expected to be up and running in Pflugerville in 9 months.
It's the area's first water park and adventure park. And so there's not another water park within 100 miles of this location.
More than 300 visitors are expected each year, bringing plenty of spending money.
Yeah, over a 30-year period, we think between salaries and taxable sales in the community, it'll have a $700 million economic impact to the city of Pflugerville.
It's also going to bring in 350 jobs. 250 will be seasonal, about 100 year-round. But what about the drought? We asked the president of Hawaiian Falls whether it's the right time to build a water park.
You recycle 95% of the water. You only lose it through evaporation. You recycle and not only clean it, but then also you use your wastewater for irrigation. So
he estimates the water park will use about 10 million gallons a year of water.
it might sound like a lot of gallons, but quite honestly, that's a lot less than a baseball field, a year-round baseball field uses.
In Pflugerville, Lydia Pantases, KI TV News.
The water park is expected to be open by Memorial Day weekend 2014. The attraction will also include an adventure park, which will be open
year-round. In a few short
year-round.
months, Pflugerville will be home to a brand new water park. It's just the latest development as that community becomes a major suburb. As KXAN's Ignacio Garcia explains, officials now expect new hotels and other projects will transform Pflugerville.
With ceremonies like this, it's clear Pflugerville is changing in more ways than one.
We've actually been trying to get in the Austin, Pflugerville area for the last 10 years, and the timing was right.
The new Hawaiian Falls Water Park, set to open in May, is just the latest business to move into the bedroom community. In every corner of town, you can see the real estate growth.
Pflugerville continues to explode. We built just over 1,000 houses this year. We expect to do the same thing in 2014.
Right now, talks are underway to build the first hotel in the city limits. Like Hawaiian Falls, the potential hotel site is located close to Pflugerville's busiest intersection.
The tollway has been the biggest economic development boom that Pflugerville has ever seen. You know, it's really what's driving all this growth. Right across the street from where we're standing is now the 5th largest shopping center in the Austin MSA, and it's all a result of that tollway.
But all that growth means spending nearly $30 million on parks, roads, and other projects. Voters will decide next year, but that's then. Today it's about turning the shovels again as the image of this small town quickly fades into the future. In Pflugerville, Ignacio Garcia,
A historic
KXAN
home
News.
made the move across Pflugerville today. Take a look. The Kenneth Bowles home was moved from FM 685 in the SH 130 toll road to its new home out at Heritage Park. This move is costing about $40,000, all because of the new Hawaiian Falls Water Park that's currently under construction.
We didn't want to lose this historical home. We had a lot of residents asking when we announced the water park, what about the home on the corner?
The use of the home is still under review. Heritage Park is already home to the Heritage House Museum and the Green Red Barn. And Hawaiian Falls is set to open just in time for this summer. Construction is slated to be finished by Memorial Day. The 25-acre park will feature water slides, a wave pool, and a lazy river. It's expected to bring in about $700 million in economic activity to the city of Pflugerville over the next 30 years.
A highly anticipated water park is now open, and the first day started off with quite a splash.
But not quite the way most people expected. Morning storms barreled through the Pflugerville area, dumping a lot of rain on the opening ceremonies at the Hawaiian Falls Park. And KXAN Sophia Beausoleil spoke with a family who came out for the celebration and had to cut their day short.
Huddled under umbrellas and navigating through puddles. Laura Swanson and her family knew they were coming to the water park to get wet, but not like this.
It could have been better weather, but the people were nice.
Mother Nature decided to join the party and drench the grand opening of the new Hawaiian Falls Water Park. But that didn't wash away people's spirit.
I was really excited because I've never been to a water park this cool, all the new slides.
It's hard, or harder than we thought, but here we are, and again, we thank you for your patience.
The park had to delay its opening a couple times because of the weather. Crews still have to finish a part of the park, but the mayor of Pflugerville says, finished or not, the park will bring people to the city.
They're going to come to Pflugerville instead of us going there, and we get their money for once.
An attraction many say is just great to have in their backyard. And while everyone agreed the rain was needed, yet ironic at the same time, the downpour must mean something.
Well, don't they say that that's good luck at a wedding if it rains on the day of?
A superstition some hope translates into a fun summer at the park. Reporting from Pflugerville, Sophia Beausoleil, KXAN News.
Hawaiian Falls says any day you're there and it rains for 15 minutes or more, or if they have to close the attractions, you get a free ticket to come back.
Today's grand opening comes in the midst of a legal battle between Hawaiian Falls and a construction company. Last Friday, we told you about a lien filed by Grand Republic Construction. The owner claims he and his employees dug several pools, as well as the lazy river at Hawaiian Falls, but they never got paid. Supervisors with the water park dispute how much money they owe Grand Republic. And in a statement, a spokesperson said Grand Republic did not fulfill their obligations and that they'll let a court of law determine the validity of their claim. A highly anticipated water park is now open, and the first day started off with quite a splash.
But not quite the way most people expected. Morning storms barreled through the Pflugerville area, dumping a lot of rain on the opening ceremonies at the Hawaiian Falls Park. And KXAN Sophia Beausoleil spoke with a family who came out for the celebration and had to cut their day short.
Huddled under umbrellas and navigating through puddles. Laura Swanson and her family knew they were coming to the water park to get wet, but not like this.
It could have been better weather, but the people were nice.
Mother Nature decided to join the party and drench the grand opening of the new Hawaiian Falls water park. But that didn't wash away people's spirit.
I was really excited because I've never been to a water park this cool, all the new slides.
It's harder than we thought, but here we are, and again, we thank you for your patience.
The park had to delay its opening a couple times because of the weather. Crews still have to finish a part of the park, but the mayor of Pflugerville says, finished or not, the park will bring people to the city.
They're going to come to Pflugerville instead of us going there, and we get their money for once.
An attraction many say is just great to have in their backyard. And while everyone agreed the rain was needed, yet ironic at the same time, the downpour must mean something.
Well, don't they say that that's good luck at a wedding if it rains on the day of?
A superstition some hope translates into a fun summer at the park. Reporting from Pflugerville, Sophia Beausoleil, KXAN
Pflugerville's
News.
new water park opens on Memorial Day.
Hawaiian Falls is located along Highway 130 and FM 685, and there won't be another water park like it within 60 miles in any direction. Tonight, KXAN's David Scott looks at what you can expect.
They'll tell you, come on in, the water's going to be fine. But when you're looking around at the rest of the park, they still got some hammering to do.
Yikes, I know. 2.5 weeks, about Memorial Day. It'll be a partial opening. I don't think we're going to have the whole thing finished by then.
It will be fully open when school lets out, including the largest wave pool in Texas, a floating river, and giant slides. Only 1/10 of the water used will be lost thanks to recycling. If it all goes down the tubes, unlikely, they say. The city is backing up the loan.
The city ends up with a beautiful $23 million park with probably the loan paid about half off, and then they'll either operate it or find another operator who will make it work. This is one of the top markets in America without a water park. So we're thinking this is a pretty good bet.
Their other parks are flourishing with hotels, retail, and residential nearby. One hotel and 1,000 homes are already committed here in the first wave. What's going to be your favorite ride?
I think I'm going to like that slide right there, that big one.
The big slide. What are you going to like about this park?
The family atmosphere, so we could bring the whole family. We work with Laren, and Laren is deaf and blind, and he would love this.
He won't be alone. In Pflugerville, David Scott, KXAN News.
There will also be a separate dry adventure park on the grounds, complete with obstacle course, zip line, arcade, and laser tag, and it's going to stay open all year. We also wanted to know how much water this park is using, given we're also facing water restrictions because of the ongoing drought. The park says it uses 10 million gallons a year, but thanks to recycling, as Dave mentioned, only 1 million of that will be lost. That's equivalent to watering one baseball field for a year or usage for 125 homes.